there. This is card by card, Six of Swords. So we are focusing in on the Six of Swords. And I wanted to lay out the cards and pick them up, and we just have a little discussion. I find that sometimes going through each of the cards, it helps me to really get acquainted with the card meanings. And I'm hoping that for you, as you start to see more of these cards, it'll really start to click as you do your own readings. Like for me doing this exercise as well as we do this recording, I'm gaining stuff too as we go through. So it's a win-win for all of us. First up, we have the traditional Centennial Waite-Smith deck with the Six of Swords, and you have, the boat. There's like kind of more ripple waves here, and then kind of serene waters over here. And this person, presumably a woman, is kind of hunched over with a child next to her. She travels over water to also have some peace, a moment of peace. So we have a little white book for this deck. You're looking for the Six of Swords. They have the description as a ferryman carrying passengers in his punt to the further shore. Divinatory meanings: journey by water, route, way, envoy, what is it? Expedient, commissionary. In the verse, it would be declaration, confession, publicity. One account says that it is a proposal of love. Interesting. I don't normally use this deck, so it's like, So, with the Six of Swords, it's, it's like that much needed, also like when I talked about the Four of Swords, that much needed respite or moment to get some rest. This is that much needed break or trip that's needed. Okay, so we have the Numinous Tarot's Six of Bells. Bells is for the swords or the air. And here we have the here is like a break in the storm, and you've got sunlight, and you know that as you're moving towards this direction, things are easing up, things are getting better. You're moving to, less stormy times, more sunshine. Again, this is a similar kind of depiction with the Triple Goddess Tarot. We have the Six Swords angling. I don't think we have any. Do we have any? Oh, we do have bells. The wind chimes. I love that. And then we have this, like you're going through this cave, this dark cave, and now you're going into the light. You're moving towards the light and away from the dark times of the Five of Swords. Let me see. I was going to see. Oh, the Triple Goddess. I do have its little white book on the table. Let's see. Six of Swords. Know when to step away and start fresh. Adaptation brings new insight. Additional meanings: travel, leaving what is known to head into the unknown. Adaptation. Oh, I love that. Leaving, what I really love about that, it says, leaving what is known to head into the unknown. And so you could probably look around in your, the cards in the reading and see, you know, what maybe you might be needing to leave behind, and what for, what you're leaving behind this for this when this comes up. All right. Next up, we have the Moonchild Tarot's Six of Swords, and no boat, but if you look carefully, there is water back here. And get a sense that it's sunlight, actually. And yes, it has some traditional elements of the Wade Smith. There's obviously some differences here. I use this deck primarily for readings for myself, although sometimes I do like little birthday like emails and do little readings for folks as part of like a little birthday oracle wish for them. And I use this deck and I read with it intuitively. So, I mean, you've got these like little Stonehenge stones back here. This person seems to be very much in a moment of praise or, I don't know. She has a veil over her face. Not quite sure what that is about, but, and I don't have the guidebook right here with me, so I'll set that here. We have next up the New Era Elements Tarot with the Six of Air, and this is more of a Thoth-based deck, and it has the keyword knowledge, and we have here, this is, what do they call it, like a spacecraft up in the air, and you know, it's leaving the volatile, you know, hemisphere of Earth, and then off it goes into outer space, gaining knowledge, well, you know, as it goes, while it's there, when it comes back. It's quite beautiful. I wanted to get the guidebook here. It says knowledge. Correspondences, Mercury and Aquarius. Keywords, science, the search for the truth, understanding, insight, intelligence. And then the reversal would be weaknesses or blind spots, distrust, cynicism. And the meaning we search for the truth and strive for objectivity, understanding and intelligence. The card may signify sudden, blazing insights and unconventional solutions to problems. Exploring the card. A satellite flies high above the planet, gathering data that is only visible from an enormous let's see, is it altitude? Yes, altitude that becomes measurable and understandable precisely because of the separation between the observer and the observed. Isn't that a trip? It's a big, expansive meaning for the Six of Air, Six of Swords. It's one of the reasons why I like using this particular deck for my Rebel Soul readings when I'm looking at the global or societal energetic energies. Because it's like expansive. The creator, I think, really was thinking globally and how it, you know, not even globally, like almost galactically, dare I say? I don't know. Universal. So next up we have the Zombie Tarot, the Six of Swords. In this boat ride, we have a couple. She has, I'm assuming, some sort of little machine gun or something, or a gun. And then we still have some treacherous times with the zombies here, trying to get to them. But on the other hand, you know, she is in a boat and she's She and the gentleman are making their way. They're getting by. They're getting through the tough times of the zombies. Then we have Tarot of our Haunted House. Yeah, I think Tarot of Haunted House. And this one is like, wow, there's all sorts of... I'm trying to look at it here so I can speak to it. It looks like she's on a ship. I'm not quite sure, but I mean, it's storming. And this one is like, where is the peace? Can the peace be found in this particular Six of Swords? When I think of Six of Swords, I think, okay, you're now entering a peaceful time. So it's just kind of curious to me that it's all like tumultuous and it doesn't look like she's moving away. But I could be wrong. I'm going to look at, I have the little white book for that one. It says The Shipwreck. You can't stand by helpless to act. Better times lie ahead. The journey must be embraced. Journey, transit, motion, movement, gateway, passage. So, journey, transit, motion, movement, gateway, passage kind of is conflicting with the shipwreck. But those keywords are what I traditionally think and know of when I see the Six of Swords. So, you know, sometimes the creator takes some creative liberties, throw a curveball at us, and that's okay too. That's okay too. We have the Steampunk Tarot with the Six of Swords. Looks like they're in one of those, what do you call them? What do you call those? Hot air? No, it's not a hot air balloon. It's, oh my goodness. Can't even think of it. They call them blimps. I don't know what you call them. Anyway, so some sort of aircraft. I'm sure someone will definitely let me know what this is here. Yeah, I like it though. Something different spin on the Six of Swords. I thought that was a fun addition. All right, next up we have the Hip Chicks Tarot. And I'm looking at the Hip Chicks Tarot and it's Six of Think. And the Six of Think here is, she is traveling, so that is part of the movement. She's got her suitcase. She's ready to go. She's walking. She's traveling on a path. There were there's like a sun here with the clouds. The only difference is there's no like boat or traveling over water, but she is traveling. Six of Think. But yeah, for some people who are very literal, this might be troubling for them. They might be like, I don't get it. It's just not working for me. It almost feels like a little Eight of Cupish to me, but I get it. Still some of the keywords, you know, movement, traveling, leaving the storming behind. And then we have the Tarot of Sweet Twilight, Tarot of the Sweet Twilight. Six of Swords here. She has a blindfold on, this angel. And she's being carried. That's an interesting depiction of the Six of Swords. I have the little white book. I'm going to take a gander at it. See what it says. Why would someone with the ability to fly let herself be carried as a prisoner? What is the appeal of giving over control of one's own destiny to someone else's? Wow. I would never have thought of the Six of Swords in that way, to be honest with you. But I can see it. I definitely could see it in a reading. And one of the reasons I got the tarot of the Sweet Twilight, actually, let me pull this out. So I showed you all earlier there's a card by card of the Four of Swords I did earlier with this card. And I got this deck because I wanted it to use for like my readings for people who have heartbreak or going through some relationship issues. And I didn't, to be honest with you. I didn't get to use this deck or really get to know it. I'm hoping to try to acquaint myself with it a little more this year. We'll see how that goes. It works well, though, for these purposes, looking at the card. But I wanted to just kind of see, let's just see what comes up. We have Eight of Pentacles here. Just look how gorgeous and whimsical that is. And giving away your power, what a powerful message. I mean, I could see that. But I could also see people arguing, well, it could also, this person isn't necessarily giving away her power. She's in the boat by herself. She's by herself. I don't know, maybe it could be argued with this. I don't know. So you see how card by card, the meanings can be very similar. They can change. It could change as you do a reading with different cards laying next to them, you know. You could totally, you got the Six of Wands, or Six of Swords, Seven of Wands, Eight of Swords. You know, you can see how, with this understanding of it, how it plays with the other cards. It's like, so you took, maybe you did go ahead and give away your so-called power, you feel like, but it was because you felt like you had to defend something. You felt like you had to fight for maybe your ability to have to spend hours on this project when really your boss was expecting you to do it on this project, but somebody had promised to get this done and give you kind of a break or what have you, but maybe your boss wasn't confident in that. And in the end, it just ended up being a stressful situation with the Eight of Swords coming in. It just becomes, you know, you feel like, you know, you're bound by this situation, and you were just really trying to have some freedom and have some respite from the whole thing. So yeah, you can see how just us spending a little time, right, with the Six of Swords meanings, looking at the different ones, how we were like, okay, well, we see them sitting, we can see how they interact depending on the question, depending on your intuition, but depending on what you're picking up in the images that are being shown before you in the cards. All of that. All right, my dears, let me know. What do you think about this little card by card series? Do you have any of these decks? The Six of Swords, I have to say before I end this video that this card, the Six of Swords, is one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. And it's because when I was going through a very difficult time in my life when my son was hit in an accident, and this card finally came in a reading, it was like, oh my goodness, yes, we finally are gonna, you know, get a little rest. And we did. It wasn't a lot, but it was like, okay, he's stable now. You know, it's kind of like I can breathe a little. I can go home tonight from the hospital versus staying here around the clock. And it was like, yes. You know, so it's always been kind of like a favorite card of mine to see in a reading. And it's one of the reasons why I'm skipping around on these card by cards. I do the cards that I feel called to do the cards on, and hope that, you know, you're watching and you're like, just the card I wanted to get to know a little bit better. So there you have it, folks. I'm finally wrapping it up. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more card by cards. I did quite a few of them, or I'm doing quite a few of them. It's because I have lots of cards to show you. Thanks for watching.